All right, everybody out there in Three Witches Land, what the fuck are we doing on a Friday night? Well, guess what? We have a special edition of the 6 Feet Underground here with yours truly, the Big Bad Devil Daddy, along with the man, the myth, the legend, CEO of KingSide Records, Gabe Saldivar. Welcome to the show, brother.
What's going on, Reaper? How you doing, buddy?
Crazy as always and overworked and underpaid, you know, the usual. Aren't we all, though? All right, before we get started talking about KingSide Records, we're going to go ahead and run a quick commercial from one of our sponsors at Desaia's Creep Shop. Check it out. All right. If you are a fan of horror collectibles, apparel, Desaia's Creep Shop has a little bit of something for everybody. Her new t-shirt line is fantastic. Check it out. All new custom designs. And those dolls, man, if you are a creepy doll collector, she's got handmade custom creepy dolls for you. So check her out at Etsy.com. All right. Again, welcome to the show. KingSide Records CEO Gabe Saldivar. How you doing tonight, brother?
Going good, man. How you doing, bud?
All right, doing pretty good. So finally got you on the show. We've been talking about it for a while, and we finally got you here. So hopefully those of you out there in Three Witches Land are interested in the inner workings of the industry. This is definitely the show for you. So kind of just for the viewers out there, tell us how KingSide got started or how you even thought about doing an actual record label.
Well, being some of you know, I started Terror Crew Productions back in 2000, actually.
Shit, you were back in the 90s?
Yeah, like showing my age now, right? Right. I started Terror Crew Productions back in 2000, and you know, it's been around for going on 22 years. And you know, I started my jewelry company about 7 years ago, Saldivar Social, which was actually used to be called Badass Ring Company, and now it's Saldivar Social. Well, you know, being that I work with a lot of rock stars such as like, you know, Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top and Las Piña from El Nino, and you know, there's just a lot of them that I work with, especially on the New York hardcore scene. You know, being that I've been in the music industry for a long time, I was like, you know what? I want to help bands out. You know, it's record labels are kind of it's not a money maker. You know, we all know that these days that there's no money to be made. My whole thing was just trying to help bands get out there that don't know how to actually do the business part. You know, which is like get your stuff into record stores, get your stuff distributed, and you know, and I put my faith in a lot of bands that most people won't, and sometimes it plays out well, and sometimes it doesn't. You know, and you know, there's just, and the ones that don't, you just have to move on. You know, and it's just part of the business. You know, some will love you, some will hate you, and at the end of the day, it's the haters that kind of want to make you even, you know, even stronger, you know. So definitely, in this business, you're always going to get fucking hate, you know. I mean, it's when you're doing something good and something right, you're always going to have the haters, and it's it's the haters that just make it, you know, that much more popular, and that you're staying in their headspace. It's like, I can't kill the name. You can say all the bad shit you want to, but I'm still going to come out swinging. Yeah. I mean, you can talk all the shit you want at the end of the day, and it's like, man, I've been in this game for so fucking long. I've dealt with certain bands like that all my fucking life, and it's like I know I've experienced what you are, like there's so many of you that talk shit, but then can't even back it up. It's just like the numbers aren't even there. Like, I don't know. It's just a funny game, and it's the ones that are really humble or that seem to always do really well, that just they work hard, they're on the internet, nowadays it's all about how you're going to promote yourself on the internet. There's not a whole lot of street soldiers like there used to be back in the day when I started TCP, because back then we used to have to do hand out flyers and shit, like, come to this show, and it's just like we're just working the Deep Ellum scene. It's a lot different these days, So
I miss those old days. I mean, I can remember, when I was back in college that, they had a band at the time, and it's like, how the hell are we going to get people out? We literally had to take a staple gun and a bunch of flyers and jack all the trees and throw stickers on shit. And
I mean,
now we got internet warriors.
Yep. These keyboard warriors these days, man, they just make me fucking laugh, dude. I was like, man, I guarantee you, like, you won't say some of the shit you say in front of my fucking face. Like, I mean, I went to San Antonio like 2 years ago because somebody started talking shit, and I was like,
let me hop a plane.
He goes, I'm gonna be at the show that you're gonna be at. I was like, good, man. Like, come up to me and talk to me. Man, that fool wouldn't look at me. He wouldn't speak to me. I was like,
you gotta love it. But
I do, like, my wife's always like, hey, you like the drama. I was like, I think it's funny. That's what I do. I was like, it's not that I want the drama. It's just fucking hilarious. You got grown ass men who say they're men, but at the end of the day, there's like fucking kids. It's like,
oh, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
Well, step away from the keyboard. Let's see what you got.
Exactly. It's like,
I've just been kind of noticing, some of the posts lately, and I'm just like, damn, people still got to run their mouths in this day and age. It's like, shouldn't we all try to be having the same goal? And that's why I just love that, loyalty to family so much. And myself and, Black Tar Superstar just had to put it up there. I'm like, man, we're all trying to help each other. It ain't about who's outselling who and who's more popular. It's like, what can we do? How can we work together? And talking about some of these different bands on KingSide Records, if you're just joining us, hello, and hello, John. And it looks like I got a couple more no faces here. How you doing? Yes, absolutely, John. John's a longtime fan of the show. So he says, the haters need to check their extended car warranty. As always, on point and totally fucking right. So we got some of the newer blood is, in the last couple, I'd say probably the last year, because, you started out with a pretty good amount of bands, and now it's just like getting some new faces, some new sounds. We got Pure Sonic Outcast, Doomsday Rejects, Rid Them All, which is a TCP Ohio, Nebraska favorite, as well as myself and Black Tar Superstar, and also Drop Dead Damn It, just to name a few. There's so many, and it's all over the world. So, I mean, it's really picking up speed, and with Terror Crew Productions, like you were saying, it really kind of opens the door to KingSide if you can, prove yourself, your worth, and what you're willing to do, and just know your fucking material. You're putting out quality stuff, engaging fans. That's what this thing is all about. So did you start right off with KingSide? Was that before
AMG?
The imprint label?
So KingSide was the first start off, and then AMG basically just kind of there was a guy, I can't remember his name. Name was Jared over in Canada, and he was like, I guess he was trying to get out of the music industry or something like that. And I said, hey, I'll take over the label. And then a lot of the bands that he had on there, I said, I'll take over the name, just he signed a contract, took over AMG. And then I didn't like any of the bands that were on there. So they were kind of dissolved before I even got any bands on. So,
might say something about why he was getting rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then AMG just, AMG grew a lot faster than KingSide did. But, it was also kind of like a starter thing for, trying to help other bands, of course, try to get to the next level to KingSide. Well, it just became a big old headache because of distribution, because
Oh man.
everything that was associated with KingSide didn't translate to AMG. And so that's when I kind of I decided to dissolve AMG as well, because it just logistically, it was a logistical nightmare, to be honest,
I completely understand, man.
So, yeah, it's just a lot easier now that we have all KingSide, kind of like how we just shipped a bunch of shit to you guys, and then we shipped out some stuff to Nerds Records out in Japan as well today.
Yes, man. I was just excited as hell to see that. Most of us here in the States or even Canada couldn't even fucking imagine our stuff going over to Japan. So, I mean, you're the man for sure.
I'm hoping I can get some more pictures like I did the last time.
Oh yeah.
Have them have it in the store. So we'll see. And Japan's been kind of a little bit different lately just because of, how the corona over there.
Yes. Very strict guidelines, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been very, very strict. So, I was supposed to go on tour over there back in 2020, and here it is 2022, and I still haven't got to go. So, end of the day,
it's hard just getting into Canada.
I know. Like, I've been wanting to go to Canada for a while, and
you can go in, but you got to take an extended 2-week stay in order to get back. It's like, you got to pay for that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not doing all that extra shit,
God damn it.
Yeah, because I had just reached out to Ash from Hounds, and I was like, hey, man.
Oh, yeah.
You got the vaccine passport still over there? And he was like, I don't know. I'll check it out. I was like, all right, well, just let me know because I want to go to the UK as well,
Oh, fuck yeah.
I was hoping to go to the Czech Republic because they're having that Fast Fest over there.
Yeah, definitely.
They're playing with El Nino and things like that. So I was hoping to go to that, but I don't know how Europe, especially with all the shit now with Russia and all that. Or never mind.
Well, yeah. The latest, most depressing news.
Yeah,
Turn on the TV.
Yeah.
Or get the update on your cell phone.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go over there right now. So
it might be a little tricky.
Yeah. So
too close to home.
Yeah, and even the UK. I mean, it's right there too. So it's just like,
for sure.
Like, I would love to go, but I don't know, man. Everything.
Yeah, and that's something that is kind of scary. It's like, how is touring going to go for a lot of even like big name bands? Oh, it's like you might have to like cut some shit off, and everything, from COVID, to that and anything else. It's been hard. It's been hard for bands, and the ones that survive, and you can definitely tell from AMG who was going to be worth it, and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, and there was just so many, even on the KingSide bands. It was like there was some. There was like, I was like, you guys don't like there was so many other bands like wanting to play, and then you had some that were like, oh, we're kind of scared, I'm like, man, like I get it, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like it is what it is. Like either you're gonna get it or you're not. I mean, hell, I've had it twice, and
once myself.
It's like it's just like anything else, man. Either you're gonna be gone or you're not. So
yeah, it's about finding other avenues to get your music out, which is why I did that whole live stream thing.
Oh no, that was the thing. It's like you guys
kept us out there.
Yeah, between you guys, like I mean, we had quite a Hounds did it as well.
Oh yeah,
there was those that like expanded their horizons on certain avenues to want to play. Whether it be in front of.
Why do you want to sit there?
Yeah. So
you can play in the garage all day long, but it ain't nobody gonna hear or see you. Shit. Yeah. You want to sell merch? Get out there.
Exactly.
Or at least find the venues that are actually doing it.
Right.
That was the hardest thing in Ohio too.
Yeah.
Finding the venues that were willing and those that weren't. So, it really differed from county to county. Which is why we got so much love for the Buzz Bin out there.
Yeah, because you guys played, I mean, That's pretty much
We
like
did we did about 5 or 6 shows during the real lockdown-ish,
right.
period of time. So on Texas, man, Texas just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They just kept the ball rolling, and there's a lot of KingSide bands there, and those from neighboring states that were able to get there, Drop Dead and Rid Them All. So if it wasn't so far away, we would have done it ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like, woo.
Dawn of Ascension, they've played there numerous times in San Antonio, and they're in Arkansas. So they actually just recorded their last video with Ruben from Upon a Burning Body.
Damn.
In San Antonio. So yeah. Not too bad.
Cars definitely got to get out there.
Yeah.
For sure.
A lot of places for you guys to play down there, man, for sure.
Yeah. Just we all kind of can share the love from some of the clubs, especially they don't know who you are. So
especially like Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, like all those little areas that are like within 4 hours of each other. So, well, actually San Antonio is about the furthest from Dallas. So it's all those like Austin, Houston, they're all like within an hour or two of each other. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to kind of delve into it a little bit more here, but first we're going to take a quick commercial break for the awesome, fantastic Royal 10 Clothing family. Check it out. Again, if you're a fan of classic horror and even some custom like horror t-shirt apparel ideas, Royal 10 Clothing has something literally for everybody. So they're constantly coming up with new stuff, as well as a lot of KingSide bands are ambassadors of the brand. So check out the concert logos too. And you can find it all at royal10clothing.com. Check them out. All right, we're back with Gabe from KingSide Records here. It looks like the Sasquatch from Ohio says, horns up to KingSide Records and Reaper. Keep it squatchy. We played with them we did a one-off show while we were touring last summer, and it was a fun show. We went to Southern Ohio. It was for a birthday party for a radio DJ. So it was actually really, really cool. So hey, those guys are a lot of fun. So good to see them watching. And everybody out there in Three Witches Land, if you have questions, now is the time to ask them. Don't be afraid. All right. So with, the dissolving of AMG and everything just being KingSide, can definitely tell that there is a lot of diversity in sound. So is that something that you're focusing on at the moment?
Yeah, it's I don't know if you've noticed that we just signed the Captures, which is New York NYC reggae is what it basically is.
Nice.
Yeah. So actually, Felipe, who is the bass player for Murphy's Law, this is his band.
Oh, cool.
So, got a female singer, and she's in like a couple of punk bands up in New York City. But
nice.
Yeah, so I was really excited because I've been wanting to venture off for a while, because when I started KingSide, it wasn't basically. I've been in metal and rock my whole life, And so
right.
when I started KingSide I'd actually started off with was trying to sign a rapper, and then it didn't work out. So I was like, okay, well, the best way for me to actually grow this is I can get rock bands, no problem. So that's how it grew. And my whole thing was actually just to hopefully I want to expand this even bigger, so country artists, everything. So I don't just look at just rock and metal, so it's we're getting there, it's just going to take it's time, that's all I have is time. So.
Oh, most definitely. And, I'm sure that do you have a process of like the type of quality that you're looking for? When it comes to like those other markets as well?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays there's a lot of people that self-record and some that do really, really well. And then some that are just like, well, it's not so well, so those are the ones that's kind of like, hey, keep on going and trying, but, because nobody wants to hear something that sounds like you recorded on an 8-track,
or SoundCloud.
Yeah, we're in digital age now, so it's a little bit different, so, at the end of the day, there's a lot of great bands out there, man, that nobody gets to hear, and that's all we're trying to do is just try to help some of these bands out and try to, help them grow a little bit more, just like for instance, like, Truth and Tragedy, they were on AMG for, they finished their contract out. And when I talked to Aaron the other day, he was like, man, we got out of, the label, what we wanted to get out of the label. And now they're back to tour Germany and they're back to tour Europe, man. So it's just like, that's the kind of stuff I want to hear. It's like, that's the kind of stuff that I want to see. I want to see bands grow from the label, because we're going to grow regardless of, what's up, Charlie? How you doing, man?
Charlie, what's happening?
That's the kind of stuff we want to see is like, some of the bands, that want to stick around and be on the label as we grow. I'm all for it, man. It's like, you keep doing what you're doing and, we'll keep doing what we're doing and we're all going to grow together. Everything I always do is always, I never do anything small, so it's
oh no, of course not.
Yeah.
It takes time. And
everything takes time, but there's a lot of places that, a lot of labels that haven't even got to where I'm at, where I, getting distribution and stuff the way I have in, Japan and Europe and things like that. So it's, for me to accomplish some of the things that I have just in the short amount of time that the label's been up is, pretty well done. Do we have a lot of growing to do? Yeah, we do. And I'm not perfect. The label's not perfect, but we try to do, we have like 6 or 7 people that help us do marketing and stuff. And so at the end of the day, it's, we do the best that we can, and especially in these times, it's difficult time, and like I said, man, at the end of the day, those bands that work hard, they're going to get somewhere because, they also invest in their brand, and I try to tell everybody, anything that you do is like, that's your brand. It's not my brand. My brand is, what you see here in KingSide, I don't care about my KingSide growing. Like, I'm not trying to become the most popular label in the fucking world. Like, I don't give a shit that I only have 1,600 followers on Instagram. Like, at the end of the day, that doesn't mean shit to me. It's like I care about the bands growing. Like,
right.
I don't give a shit about me growing. It's like, I'm trying to help the bands grow, not me.
I think that's the biggest misconception. Labels don't create fans.
Right.
The artist does.
Exactly. Man, so many fucking people don't understand that. It's like I have my own brand, and I do really well at Saldivar Social. I'm not here at KingSide trying to be the front of the face, like I don't want to be the face of something. Like I have that already. Like I want the bands to be the bands and grow. I'm just here. I'm just another piece of the pie within this team that we have to help you grow. We're like a small portion of it. We're not even like half the pie in a band, to be honest. I say I feel like we're about an eighth of a pie in a band.
Yeah.
And the rest is like, you either you have a good management team, either you have a good marketing team. Yes, we try to help on that portion, but there's so many other avenues of a band business that some think that you go play your one fucking club, every other fucking, week is going to get you somewhere. It's like, sorry, man, it's not going to get you fucking anywhere. Your dream levels show me how hard you're working. Like it is at the end of the day, you get what you deserve. Like
For sure.
I can't.
It's got to be a balance.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many bands, man. That here's the funny thing: like, there's actual strategies to laying things out. Like, and me and Eric have really done really well on figuring this stuff out. Like that's the reason why, like, Becoming the Bullies, last song has done really well. Hounds, now they've hit over 100,000 streams just on Vile. And the call's already done over 50K just within the month and literally five weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
So many bands want to record something and then they want to bring it out like instantly. It's like,
right.
That's not the way it works, man. Like, there's a strategy to do things, but they want to, like, we want to release a song right now. It's like, all right. And I can tell you right now, it's going to fail because there's no promotion behind it. There's no
buildup.
Exactly. And so,
got to create mystery.
Yep. And so, that's why I try to tell the bands, hey, when you get something, like, we need to lay it out for at least 4 to 6 weeks, because there's so much strategy behind it, and some want it, some don't. So.
For sure. And that's something I try to do with the bands I work with too.
Trust me, I know.
Patience.
Yeah. Yes, I know.
Sow the seeds, it will come.
Yeah. And we all know the one. Well, bye. They gone.
Hope it's okay on the other side.
Yeah.
If you're playing the same 5 clubs locally that you've been doing all this time, great.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, man. That's what makes me laugh is that there's so many other bands that like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. It's like, well, shit, you need to water your own fucking grass before, because it's not about that,
Yeah, I think the other really big misconception is the fact that bands come to a label and they say, oh, well, here, I'll sign you for 20 grand. You spend that money. Well, guess what? Your whole first year, you're just paying back the advance that you got. So most bands are stupid too. They go out, they buy a lot of shit they don't need, and put out a shitty recording, unless the label says, oh, you've got to record with this particular producer or whatever. And then you're paying engineer costs.
Yeah.
And you're lucky if you net anything off of your merch. And that's even if you create a good name for yourself. So that's why I'm always saying, if you can get in on the ground level running, like especially with KingSide, and you grow together, it's like you're taking care of each other, and, you could just really concentrate on your art as a whole, your sound, your music, everything. It's getting out there. On all the different platforms and whatnot. So,
right.
Black Tar Superstar never would have had any international fans if it wasn't for KingSide. So, take it from me.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just, like I said, man, we're just a small piece that try to help, so.
Well, and like I said, the stuff that I see you do, most labels would not do. Or they take total creative control and say, no, this is what you're doing, blah, 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 even like down to making a song. Right. So, it's priceless.
Well, yeah, I get, like I said, being a musician myself, is kind of like, I didn't want it to be where, like, hey, Black Tar Superstar, like, this is what you're going to do. And it's like, that's just not the way. I just don't feel like you lose the creativity from that artist when you do bullshit like that,
For sure.
That's just the way I've always believed in, it's like, I let the artist be the artist, and, like I said, I just try to help support as much as I can, and, we go from there, and hopefully the artist grows, and we're, like I said, because KingSide's growing regardless of what anybody thinks, we're growing, and, and we keep reaching, new goals every year, and we're going to continue reaching new goals. And like I said, the bands that want to stay on, I would love all the bands to stay on, but Some decide that, they feel like it's greener on the other side, and then, okay, that's fine, but end of the day, um, I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but like at the end of the day, I don't lose anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I try to be everybody's friend. If you don't want to be my friend, I don't give a fuck, to be honest, too. Well, you know,
most people in this business are even tougher than that. Believe me.
Yeah,
you're just another Mark.
Yeah, I mean, you can always tell the ones who haven't been around for a long time,
for sure.
It's just like it's almost kind of like they get their feelings hurt, and you're just like, man, you have never been around. You haven't been around shit, man. Because like these days, like these digital days, man, it's like back in the real days, like that shit was fucking hard. Like you couldn't even get a fucking AR person to come out and see you.
Nope.
Because like
you got discovered by accident or not at all.
Yeah. I mean, I've had it where, I mean, like when we had Lava Records come out and checked out Zero Story, it was just kind of it's just kind of one of those things that you can actually make things.
Good to see you, Brian.
Yeah, you get to see, once you start making a name for yourself in those days, like you've done really well, when you can have actual ARs from other labels come and check out your bands, and it's not like that anymore, It's
not at all. And you had to like play every shitty place that there is under the sun as many times as you can, just so people might say, "Oh, I've heard of you."
Right. Yeah. I mean,
with all the tools at our disposal nowadays, let's make use of them. Yeah. Bands don't grow that stay stagnant. I say that all the time.
Oh, I know, man. That's one, that's just one of the things that a lot of the bands don't realize is like, you got to keep moving and moving and moving, because you'll be forgotten next week if you don't keep promoting, and
sure.
I'm not gonna name any names, but we have a few bands on the label right now that's just like, I haven't heard from you guys and I haven't seen you post any shit. Like I'll go check like all the band's websites and I'll see what you post.
Yeah.
There's some that I haven't seen post for weeks. I'm just like, okay, it is
it's
what
like,
it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, even if you don't have anything totally going on just yet, like you're waiting, like putting songs together, I always tell bands, just put a little 30-second snippet of you guys practicing, or, there's 1,000 apps out there where you can get your music over top of a photo. Just constantly put something out. Especially if you've had some past videos or some old singles, Spotify address, especially merch. If there's merch available, push that shit all the time. It don't matter if they see your face or not. And then, the only way to grow fans is to actually talk to them. So go live once in a while.
I mean,
that's how I started the underground. I just took it to another level.
Exactly. I mean, like, look where you are. Like, look where you were when you started, and look where you're at now.
I just don't stop.
No. Like I said, like Hounds is the same way. Those guys were awesome.
Fuck yeah, I respect them so much.
Yeah, they've done really, really well for themselves just because they've interacted with their fans so much that they've got their name down really, really well for that, And I commended them for it, because it's like very few bands do that. And when you can start reaching fans like that, like they respect you a hell of a lot more,
Sure do. And they're another one of those bands, just like Pure Sonic, ourselves, and a lot of other bands that are still with KingSide at this point. And like during the COVID time, it was feast or famine. Figure it the fuck out.
Exactly, man.
Oh, Charlie says, what does he say here? We need shows outside of Oklahoma City. Brother, I feel you. It's all about connections. And I myself, I'm finding just how difficult it can be to get those connections further out. Ohio, I got you. It's everything's a building process, and we would all love to play out. Invest in groups that have similar sound, especially on Facebook. Like for us, since we're more of a doom kind of band, I just searched every fucking doom group I could find that I could drop drop the name in constantly. So, that kind of gets you to grow your fan base a little bit by doing that. And then start talking to other bands that are in the same genre from different states. That's how I put that tour together last summer. We went to Atlanta. What was it? North Carolina or South Carolina? I think it might have been South. No, I think it was North Carolina.
Yeah.
And a cup, Michigan and all that. So it's like, that's how it's done. Piggyback off each other. That's why we keep throwing that hashtag family out there, because that's what we are. We take care of each other.
Yeah, that's what I told Charlie and them the other day. I was like, hey, I can definitely get you in San Antonio and Austin and Houston.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of family down there, so we can,
sure do
start connecting with some of those bands down there. That's what, like I said, Dawn of Ascension did, and look where they're going. They've played Texas shitloads of times now. They're in the bumfuck Egypt over in Arkansas. They're like some small ass town I never even heard of, man.
It's one of those, you blink your eyes, the tumbleweed goes by and you miss it. I know, man. I know.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, we came from the slums of Canton, Ohio. All we got is the Football Hall of Fame, and most people don't even really come out for that anymore. So,
yeah,
it's like, it's a little bit different now that I'm in a different state, but I mean, let me be a testament again that it still can work, even if you're in a different state.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, just talk to people. Got to. It's the only way. Some of these bigger festivals, let me tell you, they fucking make my ass hurt. Even just to get an answer from them.
Yeah.
I think I was talking to one of the other bands the other, Drop Dead Demo. I'm like, they keep asking me, like, how's it going with the festival? I'm like, dude, it's just fucking hard as hell. If they haven't heard of you, just to get in there. Like, I couldn't even get Black Tar in there. The only way we got on to this year's Doomed and Stone Festival, which is a big one for Ohio, because it's also part of a very large network of Doom listeners.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only way we could get in, because they call us the local heroes or hometown heroes or something like that. I'm like, oh shit, I just got on there by the tip of my dick. So we are trying hard. Don't be afraid to reach out to them too. Let's do it as a collective. Sometimes, we might be able to get an opening there somewhere. And that actually is leading up to something I'm very excited about that KingSide has going on. The Miami Fest for KingSide, or KingSide Fest. Is that what you're calling it?
KingSide Festival. Yeah.
Oh, okay, man. Let's talk about that a little bit.
So we had actually reached out to, so here's the story right now. So we've kind of we've kind of set things up, and then it's kind of gone silent from the promoter.
Well, that's never good.
So apparently, for what, to give her, little thing, her husband apparently went to the hospital, and I haven't heard anything back. But Felipe from the Captures, he has another band called the Scandals, which is based out of Miami. They're playing there this weekend, actually tomorrow.
Nice.
Actually tomorrow. And so he was going to go ahead and talk to her. He's the one that actually was like, hey, let's get this thing set up in Miami. I was like, perfect. I want it to be here in Florida anyways. And so he's going to talk to her tomorrow. And then because I'd written her like 2 or 3 times, and but he said he'd definitely touch base with her, because she's the one that runs the club and everything down there. And so hopefully I can get some final answers and final dates. So I'm hoping to make it a 2-day Saturday and Sunday type festival. So
I mean, that'll be great, because all of us bands have been talking about how great it would be for us all to be on a bill together. I mean, shit. And it also seems like Texas is a really good spot to maybe try to get it there too.
Yeah. I'm not really. I've been talking to a really good buddy of mine from San Antonio. He's been talking to me about wanting to do the Terror Fest there, because he actually played the first Terror Fest back in Dallas back in
nice
2005. And so he's like, let's do Terror Fest 2 here. And I was like, well, I kind of wanted to do it here, but I don't know, man. It's just kind of one of those things. So we're still talking about it. I was hoping to do it this year, but I'm not really sure just yet. that was my plans to do it here, but just
Mhm.
trying to find a venue that can hold a 2 stage.
Man, that would be perfect.
Yeah, that was kind of my thing. So when we did Terror Fest 1 back in 2005, we had 2 stages. We did an inside and outside. Nobody had ever done one before in Dallas. So we were kind of one of the first shows to actually do a 2 stage show, which was one was set up outside, one was set up and inside, and then we had it was like a 12-hour day. We started
Mhm.
at noon, and then we ended up going on to the last band started at midnight. So it was a great time. The club sold out a Jägermeister that night because Jägermeister had sponsored the show for us, and it was
Nice.
just a really good night. And so I'm hoping I plan on doing another big show eventually. But the KingSide Festival, I'm hoping is going to be a pretty cool thing. I'm going to try to do at least a back line so there's not so much equipment laying around, especially because shit like that can become a mess. Bands start losing shit. You know,
Yeah.
so I think I might try to just do a back line to make it a lot easier on all the bands, just string guitars and basses and whatever. So
Yeah, it makes life a little bit easier. I mean, you got effects pedals. Shit, you're still gonna sound great.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, that'd be great. As a matter of fact, I mean, I've been kicking around the idea of, there's so many bands on over on this side that, I might be able to try to piece together like a Midwest, Terror Crew event if I can,
yeah,
which would be pretty awesome too. So there we got something to look forward to. We're putting some pretty cool ideas together, and it takes a lot of work. People just
yeah,
don't realize it.
yeah. Oh no, and that's the thing. It's we're help sponsoring a couple of the big Mo Fest over in San Antonio, and then we're going to
Mhm.
help sponsor the Vile Fest in the UK. Which is Hounds is the one they just announced the other day. So there's a
Nice.
lot of good things coming along, and yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see how things plays out.
Just keeps coming back to the word patience.
Yeah, and
Keep hustling and just be patient.
yeah, I have to learn that myself sometimes too, man. Because I'm kind of I want shit
Same.
done and I want shit done now, but it's just the way it is, man. You have to be patient. So
No doubt. So, do you have any upcoming new announcements as far as new talent that's
um,
coming to the label?
well, we just signed Death Note Silence from Canada.
I
And
saw that.
yeah,
Canada's just woo
yeah,
knocking
there's
it out of
a
the fucking park.
lot of great bands coming out of Canada, man. I was
That's sick as fuck.
Becoming the
Used to
Bully,
be jazz, now it's like rock and metal.
yeah, fucking Becoming the Bully. Their new album is gonna be really kick ass, man. We got some.
So good.
We have a guest appearance on that one as well, which is it's gonna be a big huge surprise. Uh,
Damn.
yeah, and the song is fucking killer, man. I just got to hear it the other day. We worked out the deal with the guest vocalist, and he laid down the tracks within a couple of days. And
Wow.
yeah, it's a fucking killer thing, man. I'm super stoked for those guys because, like I said, the call has just surpassed. I mean, the call did more streams than their whole last Pillar album did, and that album's amazing to me, and so now
Yeah.
their whole catalog is on KingSide now, so which is pretty nice, I like those guys they're talented.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
a lot of good bands coming from. I know Storm the Empire wants to come. They had just asked me again about the KingSide Festival because they're coming. They're to come all
We
the way.
want to as well.
Yeah. So and once I can get everything locked down, man, like I said, that's a long ass way for Storm the Empire to come.
It really is, yeah.
But yeah, I was like, holy shit, man, this is gonna be an awesome show. We can get it all. If
Oh,
I can
fuck
get it
yeah.
all finished laid out.
For sure.
So
Now I keep hearing a lot about Purge of Sanity as well. I don't know if you've I know I've been getting tagged a lot in their posts, and they're pretty fucking sick, man.
yeah, Purge of
Love it.
Sanity from on TCP is a amazing band. We had talked to KingSide talked to him for a while, and it just hasn't got to that point yet. Where
Mhm.
it doesn't always work out. But we haven't got to any kind of contract
Oh,
talk at
sure.
all. So, but yeah, really good band, man. And we have quite a few TCP bands that aren't signed to KingSide, and they're talented, man. That's one thing I can say is that between all the bands that we have, between TCP and KingSide, man, it's like so much freaking talent, and
it's amazing.
It's just having so much connections with everybody around the world, that we have. It's amazing because like we have that. A lot of us have that great family type atmosphere that those that want to have it. Those connect, and those bands that want to connect, they connect, and they do well.
Sure as shit. I mean, I talk to shit tons of bands from
I know
KingSide all the time, man.
Yeah.
Just talking to Tales from the Oracle earlier, the drummer.
Oh yeah, man. Those
cats are awesome.
Yeah. So their new album, Tales from the Oracle, is new album coming out April 1st. They got a new video coming out on Friday. That album's gonna be kick ass too, man. The dudes are talented, and I love the whole mask thing, kind of like a Slipknot type thing, but they're just like a little bit more wicked, man. So hey, there he is.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, exactly, man. So but yeah, man, Tales from the Oracle, they got some killer shit, dude.
They do. It would even be cool for us to do a show with them, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I don't know how Canada is right now.
Right.
I know it's been some more bullshit lately, but yeah, I would love to have some of our bands be able to go, cross the border a couple of times, like
I've been trying to get my hands on that for a whole year now.
Yeah.
Because we work with Bulldogs Radio up there in Canada's extreme metal. I got a close friend up there that's done a shit ton of promotion for Black Tar. And he's like, yep, here's this fest coming up. This fest got canceled. I'm like,
yeah.
Fuck. So hopefully, things kind of turn around a little bit. Again, if you're just now tuning in out there in Three Witches Land, ask your fucking questions. This is your time. If you're an up and coming band and you're looking to shop, this is the interview for you. And as a matter of fact, we're going to get to kind of like the process of getting signed and stuff like that here in just a moment. But we're going to take a quick commercial break for another one of our, actually, no, I don't think this is okay, it's this one. Sorry. Speaking of Terror Crew Productions, let's check out the bands of Terror Crew Productions, Ohio, Nebraska. All right. So as you can see, if you're out there, as a band and you're working hard, you got your sound down and you're looking for some representation, Terror Crew Productions I couldn't think of any other production company to work with that is as awesome as Gabe, Eric, and the rest of the crew around the world, including myself, not to toot my own horn, but still, if you're looking for some representation, some A&R and, marketing and stuff like that, check me out. So, all right, let's check real quick at the peanut gallery. Any questions? Not at the moment. So what would you say would take a band to impress you enough to want to work with them? Like what it takes to get signed. That kind of thing.
A lot of times it's just feelings for me. Like once I hear something, and if I feel it, then it's like, okay, yeah, I definitely want to talk to this band. I get a lot of music. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that comes across my desk. It's just like, no disrespect. It's just kind of one of those things. It's like if it doesn't grab me, then it's going to be really hard for me to even want to be involved with something that I don't feel. So to be honest, like before you guys came on, like I hadn't really heard a lot of doom bands,
right?
And I was just like, man, this is kind of cool. Like I've never heard of this kind of stuff. Like I've always just been into like metal, but I've never even heard of doom metal. Then I was like, so I started looking that shit up, and I was like, man, there's a lot of cool ass shit around here, And then it's just like once we got you guys on, then it was just kind of like drop dead, damn it, I didn't, I was just like, so shit, man, we're getting some doom bands now, So, and it's just kind of one of those things. It's like, because you guys have like that, like I don't know, it's just like it's really heavy, but it's slow, and
right.
It's got that
very Sabbathy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just it's kind of got that old school sound as well, but it's just like that, there's just something about it, man. It's like I said, I'd never even heard it before until I heard you guys, And I was kind of drawn in. I was like, what the hell was this, And so it kind of got me involved, and like I didn't know. Like I said, I guess I'm being honest. Like I'd never really heard of doom metal, and it just drew me in, and here we are. We got what 4 bands I think are doom metal, something like that.
Yep.
So yeah, man. Like I said, it's just something that if I hear it and it grabs me, more than likely I want to talk to you. If they get the response back, I just can't. There's a lot of times that we just can't respond to everybody because there's something we get tons of submissions.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Daily.
Is there anyone that sticks out that might have been like the worst submission ever?
No. Yeah, but I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah.
It's kind of like asking, what was your worst show? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Because I'm just like, so many people, and no fault to their own. They think what they're doing is just phenomenal. It's the next biggest thing. And it's just like, you finally put it in front of somebody and it's like, we got to let you know.
Yeah.
Just not good enough.
Yeah. I usually
like what is that? America's Got Talent or some shit.
Yeah. Exactly. So a lot of times, like, I'll be like, hey, there's just sometimes I don't even respond back because I just don't have we just don't have all the time to respond to everything, Like
for sure.
If they get something from us, then that means we're interested, But I would say probably bands hear back from us maybe like 10% of the time, out of all the ones that we get. So, it's like I said, it's a daily thing, but it's just like
sometimes it just piles up like way too much, and it's like hard to sift through it all.
Yeah, a lot of times, to be honest, and then we get some that are pretty persistent, and we'll take a double look, listen and stuff, and it's like, yeah, still no, it's like, so
for sure. Awesome. Well, man, I'll tell you what, it's been amazing having you on the show. Unfortunately, we didn't have as many questions as I was hoping. I don't know. I told everybody, here's your chance.
It is all good,
definitely to everybody out there in Three Witches Land that have been watching, thank you so much, including some of the awesome bands of KingSide out there too. Appreciate you. you know, without y'all, there's no me. So that's totally the truth.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah. So in your final thoughts, what is your message for, let's say, up and coming bands looking for a contract or some that already have one?
Just keep working hard, man. At the end of the day, that's, you know, that's all most people can ask for is just keep working hard and like I said, believe in yourself. You know, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is gonna.
That is totally the truth. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're all excited about everything that's coming up, as far as, you know, new bands joining the family, as well as current bands' new releases coming out. So definitely, please go to KingSideRecords.com for all your merch needs, for, you know, all the new albums coming out the rest of this year. And we look forward to big things. And thank you for doing what you do, man. You absolutely
appreciate the invite. You know.
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't wait.
Make sure you check out Reaper's store, man. Like he's gonna have a lot of KingSide shit coming up his way here shortly.
Yes. I was actually going to close with that. Now, you know, that I have opened up the Little Owl Mystics, we will exclusively, if you're in the Omaha, Nebraska area or surrounding areas, to get some of these awesome fucking bands as CDs, as well as T-shirts and all the, you know, KingSide apparel that you can get your hands on right here. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. So thank you for that as well.
He's going to have some bunch of 7-inch vinyls. He's going to have CDs, Woo! T-shirts, patches.
Yes, definitely.
So, hey, if I'm not mistaken, before we get off of here, I know John from Locomotive Gun wants to hook up with you, man. So
yeah. As a matter of fact, my wife mentioned it to me. So
okay,
you know, good. I'll definitely have to get with him because I think they're playing a show. In Omaha, actually. So yeah, I'll definitely see what I can do to link up with him. That'd be awesome. Man. Maybe have like a little in-store meet and greet if we could do it. Why the fuck not?
You got some Locomotive Gun stuff coming too. So
yes,
perfect time.
Definitely, that would be kick-ass.
Yeah, man.
Again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Everybody out there, always stay heavy.
Have a good night, guys.